Hello guys, welcome back to the After Effects for Animation Beginners course. I'm Dragon Gasai, and today we'll be continuing chapter 3 by going over the next 5 cuts. So let's just get right into it. One of the first things you want to do is open up the timesheet for this cut. I do want you guys to start making a habit of looking at the timesheet first, because not only does it give you the I do want you guys to start making a habit of looking at the timesheet first, because not only do they give you directions, even if it's in Japanese, and how many cells and footage you're going to be importing into After Effects, but also the duration of the cut or where it ends. Here we got the cut 3 timesheet, the duration, the directions, and the footage for this cut. Background only means we're only going to use background elements. This includes books unless otherwise noted. Now that we took a look at the timesheet, let's go into After Effects and make a new composition. I usually set the name as a cut number. We're doing 1920 by 1080 square pixels with frame rate as 24. Resolution set as full and the duration set at 84. Next we're going to import the footage. So let's go over to File, Import, Multiple Files. We're going to get the background, Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, the layout, and the slide specification sheet. Now that we got all the footage that we need, let's start adding them into composition, starting with the background, the open book 1, 2, 3, slide sheet, and lastly the layout. Scale the layout so that the outer box fit within the composition, then scale the other footage accordingly. If you go ahead and hide the layout, let's take a look at the directions of the timesheet. Here it says book 1 and 2 slide from A to B. We'll need to take a look at the timesheet in After Effects. Go ahead and unhide the slide table. Here you'll see A, or starting point of book 1, as blue, and B, or the end point for book 1, as red. Go ahead and lower the opacity of the slide sheet and make sure you're on the first frame. Book 1 is already aligned with A, so we do not need to move that at all. Click the arrow tab on the footage, open the transform tab, and click on the stopwatch for the position to make a keyframe. We need to move the cloud to B position of the slide sheet, in which we need to go to the 84th frame according to the timesheet. You can do so by clicking on the book layer and drag it along. After Effects will automatically make a keyframe for it. Or you can change the X and Y numbers on the position. Or you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Okay, we should be done with book 1, but the direction wants us to do both book 1 and 2. On the slide sheet, it says book 2 will have the same slide momentum as book 1. This is where the parent and link function in After Effects will come in handy. If you do not see the parent and link tab here, then click this button here. In the Book 2 settings, where it says None, click that tab and select Book 1. What this will do is Book 2 will follow Book 1. And with this, we're done with Cut 3. Make sure your BPC is set to 16 and save this file. Here we got the timesheet for cut 4. In the direction box, we need to change the opacity of A shadow cell to 60%. We need to make sure we have the footage for cell A shadow, B, C, and book, as well as the background. In After Effects, make a new composition with the duration set at 96. Let's go ahead and import the footage. Don't forget to make sure for cell B and C that you click the check for the target sequence. Now let's add these footage in the composition, starting with the background. Look at the timesheet for layering the rest of the footage with layout on top. Now scale the layout to fit the composition and everything else accordingly. You can go ahead and hide the layout. Remember what fun we had to do in Cut 2 with time remapping? Well, we do the same here. Let's refer to the timesheet. We need to change the duration for cell B to 96 and cell C to 69. Let's go to the first frame and add time remapping to both cells, and do not forget to delete the M keyframe because we won't need it. Pay close attention to cell C as the numbers repeat. All you have to do is just input the same number. For example, both frame 1 and 13 will have the same cell 1. Now that we got through that happy fun time, let's play the cut. The flowers look a bit weird. This is because the gaps between keyframes are automatically complemented and it's not possible to place them on the timesheets. Well, we can fix this. All you have to do is go to Animation, toggle hold keyframe. This will fix the loop and the flowers are spinning smoothly. Last thing to do for this cut is change the A shadow cell opacity to 60%. And we are done with this cut. Make sure the BPC is set to 16 and we go ahead and save this file. This is a timesheet for cut 5. Here the duration is 96 frames and in the direction box it says pan from A to B and change the A shadow cell to 60%. If you do not know what pan or panning is, it's moving the camera to the side. We need cell A shadow, A, and book, as well as the background layer. Let's look at the camera tab. Here you can see we are panning from the first frame to the 36th frame. Here along the 25th frame, we will be easing or slowly stopping the pan to the end. I'll explain more on that later. For now, let's go into After Effects and make a new composition. I already did so and also imported the footage that we will be using. Since pan is camera work that moves the screen, each material is made in a large format that is wider than the image size, and it's not possible to display all in the composition panel. In order to work efficiently, we need to change the frame size once so that the entire material can be displayed. So, click the layout file. It is set to 3045 by 1258. This is what we need to change the size of the composition we just created to. Right click on the composition file and select Composition Settings. Change the width to 3045 and the height to 1258 and press OK. Next up, we need to make another composition. Go to Composition, New Composition, and have the width and height be 1920 by 1080 and the duration set to 96. The reason why we are doing this is because we are doing something called nesting, in which is a combination of layers set as one. So let's drag the first composition we made and drag it in the new composition. Note that we have two different tabs here, one for each composition. We see pan B from A. This means that we're starting from the left, panning to the right. So at the first frame, let's change the position of the composition 1 so that the A box line up with the right border line of the second composition. After lining it up, make a keyframe in position. Then go to the 36th frame and change the X position to line up with the B line to the right border line of the second composition. Hide the pan sheet and let's play the clip. We have to add an effect called easing. Easing means to have a change in speed, such as slowly start, stop, when starting, stopping, and action. So let's head back to After Effects. This button here is the graph editor. We will use this for the easing. When you turn it on, your timeline should change to a graph. We are looking for the speed type graph, so go down and click the choose graph type and option button and choose edit speed graph. Use this speed graph to change the speed of the action. The speed at the bottom of the graph is set to 0. There are two ways to add easing, the automatic way and the manual way. To do it automatically, use Easy Ease, Easy Ease In, and Easy Ease Out. At the bottom of the graph editor, Easy Ease automatically adds easing to both the beginning and end. Easy Ease In is only in the beginning. Easy Ease In is only the end. And Easy Ease Out is only at the beginning. When using Easy Ease, from the start it's not possible to specify the range of the deceleration part because the speed is automatically adjusted from 33% to 33% before the stop. This time, easing is added only to the end, so select the keyframe of the 36th frame, which is the end point, and then select Easy Ease In. If you check the movement in the preview, you can see that the pan has slowly stopped. Make sure that BPC is 16 and go ahead and save this file. This is a timesheet for cut 6. Here in the direction box, cell C is what's called a ho-ho brush. I will explain more on this later. Take time referencing the timesheet and go ahead and make your composition and start importing footage and scale the layout and everything else accordingly. If you imported all the footage, it will look weird. Let's fix this with some good old time remapping. Use the timesheet to remap the cells and reposition them. Don't forget to toggle hold keyframes. After this, make sure you import this track map file here. C-cell is a cell that expresses the main character cheeks flush. Such materials are called ho-ho brushes. The ho-ho brush, actually hold on, it might be blush. Hold up. Such materials are called ho-ho brushes. The ho-ho brush of this time has already been blurred. If it's combined with B-cell as it is, C-cell will be combined with B-cell's hair and eyes. The track mat is a cutout of the face so the C-cell won't bleed out over it and fall into the hair and eyes like it did before. Let's add the track map footage in between C-cell and D. Track map B is the same as cell B, in which case have the same time remapping. Luckily, you can just copy the time remap on cell B and copy it on track map B. Now let's change the track map settings on C cell. Now on cell C, where it says none, change that setting to alpha map. Now let's view it. Now that concludes cut 6. Make sure the BPC is at 16 and let's save this file. Time for the last cut for this video. Here we have the timesheet for cut 7. We are going to be doing a track up. If you don't know what a track up is, or TU, it's the same as the zoom in. A track back, or TB, will be the same as the zoom out. So let's go into After Effects and set up the composition and import the footage, including the track up sheet like I've done here. Since we are using camera work with the entire screen, every footage we imported is larger than 1920 by 1080. We need to remap cell A according to the timesheet. Don't forget about the toggle hold keyframe. We will need to scale the layout down where the A box lines are within the frame and scale everything down accordingly. We can go ahead and hide the layout and track up sheets for now. Next up, we are going to create another composition with the same settings as normal and the durations that are just like Cut 5. We are going to drag the first composition into the second composition to make a nest. We can unhide the track up sheet in the first composition. We will need to zoom in or scale down till the B box aligns with the frame in the 48th frame. Now let's hide the track up sheet. According to the timesheet, we will need to add in some easing at the end. Open up the graph editor, click the last frame on the 48th frame, and select Easy Ease In. Let's do another playback. Make sure the BPC is 16 and save the file. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Assignment for the video will be up on my Discord. The rest of chapter 3 will be uploaded tomorrow. Just kidding. The rest of chapter 3 will be uploaded on Friday, and chapter 4 will be up on Monday. If you guys have any problems, feel free to message me down below or on Discord. I'll see you guys in the next video.